Hey guys, Into the End here, back for another ranked video. The last video that I uploaded for ranked was the Divining Rod combo deck with all the charge units like Caleb and Icaria and Divining Rod. And I've been working on something different since then. My rank have really dropped over the last 2 weeks. I think the Divining Rod deck dropped me down to 250 or so, and then this new brew dropped me another 200 ranks down to 450 or so. But I think the deck is actually pretty good now. I'm pretty excited to show you this brew. It is a gimmicky combo deck using the Spymaster, Gunsmith, Herald, and Mirror Image combo, and also the newer version of that, the Spymaster, Westwind Herald, and Bad News combo. Both of these combos will allow you to go infinite and win the game as soon as you get an attack in. But let's take a quick step back and go through the deck for those of you who have never seen the combo before. The card Mirror Image creates a copy of one of your units. The Spymaster allows your units to infiltrate any number of times. And the key is Westwing Herald, which allows you to play a spell from your void for free when you infiltrate. So if you have the Cabal Spymaster in play and the Westwing Herald in play, you're going to be able to play a free spell from your void every time the infiltrate triggers. So you trigger that by playing the Gunsmith. Each of your units will deal 1 damage to the enemy player. That includes the Westwing Herald, and that will trigger the infiltrate. And then, using that free copy of the spell, you use Mirror Image to play another copy of the Gunsmith, which will then trigger the Herald's infiltrate again, which will allow you to play Mirror Image again, and you would simply play Mirror Image, copying your Gunsmith any number of times until your opponent is dead. Now, theoretically, this is an infinite combo, but there's something really weird with Eternal's board interface. When you hit the max units, which is 12, I'm not actually sure if the 13th unit will trigger the ability. So sometimes you actually have to stop the combo when you hit 12 units. But when you get to 12 units on the board, you've done over 100 damage to your opponent, so barring the weirdest of games, you should have already killed them. So it's never really a relevant thing, so I wasn't able to test it that much. Now, the newer version of this combo is much easier to execute. You just need this Cabal Spymaster and the Westwind Herald, and then you attack him, and then you play Bad News. And then you simply play Bad News infinite number of times every time you hit your opponent because of the Spymaster's ability to allow you to infiltrate. So those are the two core combos of the deck, and this deck has existed before in various forms. So this is not really a new combo or anything, but I think I like my version of the deck most because I've tried to put in a lot of early game cards that has favorable interactions with your combo pieces. So even when you don't have the combo online, you can still use the individual combo pieces to do some sweet stuff. So, and mainly that card is Gorgon Fanatic. With the Gorgon Fanatic in play, if you have the Gunsmith, you're going to be able to trigger the infiltrate, draw 3 cards, gain 3 life without having to combat, which is good because you typically won't be able to hit your opponent with a 3/2 unit with no evasion. And whenever Gorgon Fanatic dies, you can always try and surprise ambush your opponent. Not ambush, surprise your opponent with a haunting screen, allowing you to get in the air for 3 damage and gain 3 cards. Draw 3 cards and gain 3 life. And then once you have played haunting screen onto the Gorgon Fanatic, it will maintain the charge and flying indefinitely. So then at that point, every time you play a Dark Return on it, it is also a flying charge unit. So use these 3 combinations of early game cards is going to be able to draw you a lot of cards, so you draw into your combo pieces, and also keep you alive by gaining you a lot of life. So it's really relevant. So between the Gorgon card drawing engine and the combo, you do have both an early, maybe not early, you do have a mid game and you do have a very powerful late game. that doesn't care too much about what your opponent is doing. I mean, the only thing you care about is if your opponent is killing your units, that will disrupt your combo. But if your opponent is going big, sometimes you can go even bigger because you do have an infinite combo. The rest of the deck is really just card filtering and cantrips to hopefully improve your draws and the consistency of executing your combo. As we all know, 3-card combos and 4-card combos relying on a whole bunch of 5 drops and 4 drops and 6 drops is not going to be that reliable. So to keep ourselves alive, we have 4 Torch and 4 Lightning Storms against aggressive decks. The 2 copies of Herald's Song is going to allow us to discard the Lightning Storms when it's dead against decks that don't care about it, like control and mid-range decks. The Quarry is going to help us find cards. And the one off Vara's Favor was just another mana source. I've been debating on cutting this Vara's Favor for another copy of Herald's Song, and I'm undecided on that yet. And everything else here is just critical combo pieces. So the deck is pretty simple. It's just 2 sort of two main combos and then a mini combo in Gorgon Fanatic and Haunting Screen and Dark Return, and then a bunch of discard outlets and filters to sometimes you rather have the bad news in your void because you don't have the 6 power to play it. Stuff like Herald's Song is going to allow you to dump the bad news into your yard. Similarly, cards like Feeding Time, which is pretty expensive to play, 4 power. If you have an active Westwing Herald, you can actually play the Feeding Time for free if you just dump it into your yard. So, and the reason why we have 4 copies of Feeding Time over other removal spells is because you need a way to fight taverns. And also sometimes you need it to remove opposing flying units. This is possibly the most powerful removal spell in the game in terms of raw power. It's slow, it's 4 to cast, it is dual color requirement, so it's not the best in terms of mana efficiency and the easeability of casting, but if you can cast it, this is the best removal spell. It gets rid of any gimmicky weird skills that opponent creatures will have, and it's dead. You can beat void shenanigans, you can beat regardless of the size of the unit, it's unconditional, you can silence them, it's just the best removal spell in the game. But it is very expensive to play. Okay, so this is the deck. I've been doing decent with the deck. During the last week when I was tweaking it, I do lose a lot. As you can see from my rank, I'm down to rank 400. But recently, though, I've been doing better with the deck. I think I am definitely above 50% win rate, but probably not too high above. This is, after all, not a competitive deck. This is a gimmicky deck. But if you can achieve a 55% win rate with a gimmicky deck, that is already a great success, I think. So for those of you who are interested in climbing ladder, this is definitely not what you want to use. But if you're already in a rank that you're happy with, like if you've gone to Masters and all you care about is playing some fun games and you don't want to drop your rank too much, this deck will be okay. I think this deck over the long run is going to allow you to maintain similar rank than you started with. And you're going to have some good streaks and you're going to have some bad streaks. But overall, you'll stay where you are with the current version of the deck. Alright, as always, thanks for watching. I'm going to record the gameplay videos separately. And actually, one of the reasons for that is I do have to note, I recorded a bunch of games over the last few days before I made the deck tech video. So in some of the games, you may see a deck that is slightly different in terms of what's in it. But I think 99% of the deck is usually the same. I'm only tweaking small numbers of here, like the number of copies of certain cards here and there. There shouldn't be too many new or different cards in the deck list. Okay, and the reason why I sort of cherry picked the certain videos is because I think it's not very fun for anyone to watch games where the combo don't go off and it just fails and you get destroyed by Skycrag aggro or Stonescar aggro, and then you just lose in 3 or 4 turns. Those games aren't very exciting. Similarly, games where opponents get mana screwed or I get power screwed, those games are also not very exciting. So I am going to cherry pick a little bit. I will show both games where I win and the games where I lost, because I do want to show you how the deck loses. But I did cut out a lot of the boring matches. And sorry for my voice, I am sick, which is why I'm at home making videos instead of working. But as always, thank you very much for watching. The gameplay videos will come separately.